start off by saying tomorrow is World Engineering Day, and as a civil engineer myself, I just want to acknowledge any engineers in this platform. Now let's kickstart with the interview tips, because that's what you're all here for. Well, the first thing I want to start off with there is checking. You want to go back, log in, check if you've uploaded your reference letter, check if you've uploaded your certificates. The reason I say this is that my interview was in April, and in March I got an email, Michelle, can you please check that you've uploaded all your references and certificates? And I thought I had done that, but for some reason one of my references was not uploaded correctly. So please, you never know what's happening in that system. Go back and check that indeed all your stuff is on there. And the second thing I want to share with you is be informed. Now, can I please get likes on the screen or something if you've signed up for the Alphagram, which is the Chevening newsletter? Everyone on here, any reaction? You've signed up? I should be seeing things popping up on my screen. So none of you have signed up for the newsletter. Okay, I see something. Okay, I see some reactions. It's very important that you sign up for the Chevening newsletter, because it will actually give you some information about what Chevening is doing. It will be easy for you to tell your story while referring to some of the things that they're sharing in the newsletter. So please sign up for the Alphagram. The other thing you want to do is to go onto the Chevening website and read up on the Chevening blogs. Like, they share blogs on interview tips. They tell you questions that might come up, how to respond to them. So it's very important that you also not only attending these sessions, but also hear what Chevening has to say about the interview itself. And then the other thing you want to do is binge watch YouTube channels. Like, all these sessions are going to be added onto the YouTube platform. That's what I did. Everyone probably on this platform with me has said that they've been at sessions like this, or they've had mock interviews. A very interesting story about me. I don't know if I should advise you to do that, but interestingly about me, guys, I never attended mock sessions. I didn't attend these information sharing sessions. But what did I do? That's the strategy I want to share with you today. And I'm not saying follow my strategy. All I'm saying is, if you have a strategy and it works for you, please go with that. With me, I watched these sessions on YouTube. I watched a lot of mock interview sessions, and I began to formulate questions and answers on a document, which goes on to my third point, is some examples of questions that might come up, which you should look into. One of the questions might be, what will be your contribution to Chevening? Why should you be selected for Chevening? And if you're somebody who knows your story and your story ties in to the Chevening goals, I've already told you to go and read the Alphagram. If you are in Botswana, make sure that you follow the UK in Botswana page, because they share exactly the activities that they're doing, and try and tie in those events to your own story and how you're going to contribute. And the second question I might share with you is, what will you give to the Chevening network and alumni? How will you network when you're in the UK? This is us networking here. Like, you could probably tell them that I'm going to be like Maya or like Michelle. When there's an opportunity to share my story with other Chevening scholars, I'm going to jump for that opportunity. That way you're going to meet a lot of people, you know? So you're learning already how to respond to the question and how you're going to contribute to your alumni or your current cohort. And also, in responding to a question like how you contribute to your cohort, You guys are going to be in the 40th cohort. So when responding to such answers, say, I'm going to be in the 40th cohort. So that's an exciting thing for me because I'm going to contribute in this way and this way. Let them know you are in the 40th cohort, It shows you've really engaged in what Chevening is doing. The third question I want to share with you is things like, why the UK? What are the challenges that you might face and how will you overcome them? When I answered this question in terms of the second part of the challenges that you might face, it might be a personal story to you. For me, my story was very personal because I have a daughter. I have a 2-year-old daughter. My husband is back home. So this is a challenge for me, but also responding, how are you going to then overcome this challenge? So I told them already, I had installed like a video cam in my house. That's something we're already starting to work on. Like even when I go to trips in a city in my country, I already use that video cam, so it's something I can use as well when I'm in the UK. So already it shows them that you've already put measures in place, even if you're not selected. So it really shows you are quite a leader in that way. And then now moving on to my fourth point, which is the interview day. And I've written there, we want you. It's a conversation. It's your story. Let's avoid looking down on ourselves. Avoid the imposter syndrome. You've gotten this far because of the story that you told on paper. So what's going to set you apart, if you're doing an online interview, for instance, you'll probably log in way before they even start the meeting. Now, when they switch on their cameras, the first facial expression or the first words that come out of your mouth are going to set up the tone for your interview. So say, for instance, we come in and Maya says, "Good morning, Michelle." And I'm like, "Oh, good morning." That's going to be your interview. If she says, "Good morning, Michelle," and you're like, "Good morning, everyone. How are you doing?" That sets the mood for your whole interview. So you choose how you want the mood in the room to be just by walking in and the first words that you say in the interview. So I've covered be yourself. It's a conversation, engage. And remember, when responding, always to respond in the STAR approach. You will avoid being all over the place, not knowing exactly how to answer a question. But if you keep that STAR approach in mind, you did it when writing your essays, you have to do it even when responding in the interview itself. Okay? I hope that's all I wanted to say here. And then the last thing is the panel. I said here, there's a question mark there. They will say, "Do you have any questions for us?" If you were not engaging, if you were not taking it as a conversation, you will freeze and not have a good question to ask. If you are engaging, for instance, with me when I was interviewed, I found out the person interviewing me, their son actually came to the same school as me. So if you are engaging, you know exactly how to answer the question. Do you have any questions for us? And if you're smart enough, you've been reading the alphagram, you know what other countries are doing, what other activities are happening in those countries, you'll be able to ask them. For instance, your own embassy, the embassy in your country is the one that's going to be interviewing you. So you have to ask them, "Oh, I saw that in Uganda they are doing 1, 2, 3. So in Botswana, are you also applying the same strategy? That how far is this going in Botswana?" It shows that, okay, fine, you're not only thinking of Botswana, you're also thinking of other countries and how their activities can relate to your own country. So when asking a question, guys, be unique. Don't ask the same boring questions such as, "What challenges do you think I'll face in terms of the weather? What challenges do you think I'll face in terms of the food?" There'll already be challenges. Everybody knows that. So come up with questions that are unique to you. Thank you very much, Maya. I hope all that I've shared will be beneficial to everyone.
Thank you so much. Sometimes I mention this sentence in every session that I'm envy, guys, for you, for new applicants, because the tips and experience I listen, I'm more